Hey, what's going on everyone? My name's Dean. Welcome back to the TTC. It's gone so quickly, isn't it? Because guess what? This is the final round of the group stage. It's between New Zealand and the West Indies in Group B. The West Indies have won the toss. They're going to bowl first here against New Zealand. And we take a look at how important this game is. Not necessarily for the Kiwis, because they have gone on to qualify so far for this tournament for the West Indies. At the moment, 1 win, 1 draw, 1 loss. They need a win or possibly draw. I'm not sure how it's going to work yet, but I think they need to win in order to qualify for the next round, or at least give themselves the best chance, because there are a number of other teams around them, like Sri Lanka and South Africa will play off later in the round, and the winner of that game will likely be able to qualify and overtake the West Indies, but we'll see how that all plays out over the next couple of weeks as we get through that final Group B game, because it is a very tight group for that second spot. And what has happened here? An absolute disaster for the Kiwis. Look at this throw in. I don't understand. Who's that? Tom Latham, I think, is the one that's been run out. The two Toms, Blundell and Latham. Look at him. He's well inside the crease and he runs out of it. Just send the other bloke back. Honestly. New Zealand lose their first with a, ridiculous run out, which is, I guess, reflective of how a lot of this tournament has played out. There's been a lot of crazy run outs. It has been obviously disappointing from a viewing point of view to see some really poor running between the wickets throughout. And really just but it has made it interesting, I guess, in the sense that we haven't seen a lot of massive scores, massive partnerships, and sometimes the lower scoring tests can yield better results because they make it more competitive and make it for a more intriguing challenge and chase in that fourth innings. Anyway, today it is obviously New Zealand with bat in hand for day one. Kane Williamson has batted a bit of an indifferent tournament so far. He's currently 9 from 31 after taking 18 deliveries to get off the mark. This will be close. Big shouts from these guys. It just looked like a casual way to get back into the crease from Williamson. And, yep, that looks like it's going to be out. He's going to be caught short. You can see the Zing Bales lighting up earlier there than obviously him getting into the crease. So, Williamson out for 10. New Zealand 34 for 2. Both wickets falling as results of runouts at this early stage. So New Zealand not in the finest position that they would have thought that they might be in after, a pretty average start, it's safe to say, with the bats here. But Ross Taylor, we know he's been top quality throughout this tournament. Pretty sure he's one of the leading run scorers for New Zealand. Probably one of the leading run scorers for the tournament, although New Zealand haven't had too many high-scoring encounters. The West Indies, on the other hand, have scored 500 once, I think, so far in this tournament. So they've been quite a high-scoring team, maybe even twice. I think the game against South Africa and Afghanistan, they managed to do it. And they've been quite the side to really watch out for in this tournament, because they have just batted so well throughout. This one's cut away nicely for 4. And they're still obviously with a big chance. If they win today, the West Indies, they'll give themselves, obviously, the best chance of qualifying. They do need to win this matchup here against New Zealand to give themselves any chance. A draw or a loss won't cut it. And the Kiwis, they don't have a lot really to play for. They should finish top of the table regardless of results. As we see a big shout here turned down by the umpire. It's been that spin attack of the West Indies. A lot of those all-rounders that are able to just do a bit of a job here. Pitching outside off. Impact in line. Wickets hitting, which means this decision will be overturned. I think that's the end of Tom Blundell for New Zealand. And, geez, what a good review that was by the West Indies. Tom Blundell out for 30, 68 for 3. New Zealand, not the ideal start. So a really good opening session here so far from the West Indies. We're 25 overs into it, and they've got 3 wickets at this in this first session. Really just what you're after as a side when you choose to bowl first. Obviously, you wouldn't have expected 2 of those to come from runouts, but that's how it's happened here today. Henry Nicholls now and Ross Taylor will once again look to rebuild for New Zealand as they want to just survive through to the end of this opening session. That's ballooned in the air. Was there any bat on it? The West Indies are convinced. The umpire is as well. And this is going to be out. Gee, this is a good delivery. Just snags the inside edge. Balloons off the pad flap. And what do you know? Wicket is taken. That's one thing I'd like to see in future games. Better pad flap technology. Better actual, you know, the pads need to move a bit more. They're pretty stiff at the moment. And I guess, you know, you want to see that impact on the pad. And you also want to see, yeah, the pad move. And it actually hit the pad off an inside edge rather than the shoe and balloon in the air. Anyway, we've got 1 delivery left in this opening session. Ross Taylor's going to hit it for a single. So he and BJ Watling will be there in the second session for New Zealand after a pretty horrible start for them. Chase was the man who got 2 wickets for the West Indies, as well as a couple of runouts there. Ross Taylor on 23 not out. Tom Blundell down the other one with a start there of 30. But it's up to, I guess, Watling and Taylor now to continue this New Zealand scoreline on in a more positive manner than that opening session. 82 for 4, not ideal. Gee, that's a good delivery as well. Just beating the outside edge. See a couple more runs picked up and added to the total. But I want to hear from you guys as well in the comments section today. Have you guys been enjoying the tournament? If you have, what have you liked? If you haven't, what haven't you liked? Obviously, huge drama with India not being able to be participating in it. But look, it was something that I really didn't want to do. But unfortunately, that's the way things have panned out. BJ Watling will depart for 5 runs here, I think. With a little outside edge. Yamel Warrican obviously aiming for the leading wicket taker in this tournament. Yeah, he's got Watling out for 4. 94 for 5. And Ross Taylor's seen a few partners come and go at the crease. Certainly has not been what he's been after since his arrival at the middle. Is Ross Taylor number 3 or number 4? I think he's number 3. And has just seen a few blokes come and go throughout his time. His 69 ball innings so far. Now has to try and rebuild it again with Colin de Grandhomme. No one really sticking with him at the moment. 104 for 5. But I'm actually pretty happy with myself, I guess, that so much of this tournament has run relatively smoothly, even with you know, the whole India thing. I was able to really keep it going and keep it running really quickly. So, you know, I'm very happy with how it's gone. As we see another big shout, there was 2 noises there. The umpire's given the finger and given it out. Will we see a review? Certainly looked as though there was 2 noises. No, there won't be a review. De Grandhomme out for 9. 110 for 6. Maybe the bat noise after the pad. Another wicket falls. Mitchell Santner out of the middle. As we said, Ross Taylor is running out of partners. Decides to go himself over mid-off. Gets it fine enough. And 4. That's a quality shot. Have a look at this. Big full toss. Decided to take it on. Would have ended in disaster had it just been chipped to mid-off. But got it over the head. And now another shout. This time on Santner. Cornwell's got one. The West Indies have 7. New Zealand in all sorts. Santner going to send this one upstairs. No again. 120 for 7. And Ross Taylor almost well and truly out of partners at this stage. Neil Wagner, the new man in. And at the 45 over mark, New Zealand 120 for 7. 45 overs, that's pretty crazy. Halfway through the opening day's play, the team on top of Group B, New Zealand, you would have expected them to really put up a strong fight, but I guess motivation could be a bit of a factor here. Not needing to actually win this game to progress through to the next round. Knowing that they're going to be there, the West Indies have a lot more to play for, and maybe that's what's given them the edge so far today. But you do want to go in with good form in the semi-finals. Remember, it is a knockout tournament once we get to that stage. Maybe a little controversial in that way that the top sides maybe don't get that extra benefit of finishing top. You know, 50 overs gone, 131 for 7. That's Taylor on 49. Edged. Oh, and through. It's going to be a boundary. That'll be 50 for Ross Taylor. It's been a hard forward innings, 112 deliveries. 53 from 113. Just the 3-4s. I saw the one earlier where he went over the top of mid-off. Now that one there that was an outside edge. Bit of luck. Oh, Wagner playing and missing. Oh, good shot. 4 through the covers. Maybe that 50's just freed up Taylor a little bit. Run rate of New Zealand 2.6 right now, so they haven't been scoring too heavily. And Neil Wagner's actually done a pretty good job here with Ross Taylor. He's been at the crease for 39 deliveries. Doesn't necessarily need to score a lot of runs himself, but as long as he can support Taylor and understand that he's got time at the crease because he's got a batsman that's going to survive with him, that's something that he'll be looking for. And Wagner now 45 balls at the crease. Should pick up 3 here. No, they'll just settle for 2. Oh, late call of 3. Very late call of 3. Taylor was caught on the back foot. Bowler's end would have seen him out. Final ball of the second session. Yep. Edged and through and a boundary. So Wagner survives. He and Taylor survived those last 15 overs of that session together as a partnership. This is now worth 43 runs. Taylor on 66. But the partnership, yeah, as we said, 43 runs. Ross Taylor, I think I said he was at 3 earlier on. No, he's actually come in at 4. But he's still seen 5 batting partners come and go out in the middle. And it has been his duty to really keep this innings afloat for New Zealand and at least get them a somewhat, you know, respectable first innings score. So the first step would probably be just Wagner and Taylor. They'll be working in little partnerships here and then maybe going, hey, we can maybe push this to 200. There's a leading edge. And Wagner not quite carrying. Now gets this away again to the onside. Should be more runs. But yeah, as we spoke about, Wagner's innings has been very pivotal here to how this has gone about. For Ross Taylor, he's just given him time at the crease and allowed him to press on with his innings without the threat of the innings coming to a close before he actually loses his wicket. So very nice stuff here from Neil Wagner, and Taylor finds the edge again off his bat. It's not going to be a boundary, it'll just be 2 as he moves into the 80s. Oh, now cut away nicely. Should be more runs. Should be maybe a 3rd. They want the 3rd. Wagner diving at the bowler's keeper's end, sorry, and they get that 3rd run. As Taylor wants to cut it away again, and this time I think, yes, it will be a boundary. So New Zealand bring up the 200, Ross Taylor into the 90s, into 94. Oh, it was in the air and it was just dropped. Dear, oh dear. Big missed opportunity for the West Indies here. Let's have a look at this. It's a bit of a half volley. Tried to get it over the top of cover. It was Yamal Warrican who was there and he was unable to take the catch. Jumping in the air, just spilt it. Taylor still in on 95. Goodness me. The one bloke you wanted to get out, well, it was probably Ross Taylor. You see Wagner finding the outside edge and again, finds a gap, finds a boundary. So New Zealand have recovered well today. Taylor goes in the air again. Not being too flustered after that dropped catch a bit earlier. Into the 90s on 98. He's into the deep 90s. Is this going to be enough? It'll be at least 1. They'll come back for 2. And this will be a very memorable 100 for Ross Taylor. From 180 deliveries, 6 boundaries, striking at 55 at a time when New Zealand needed him most. He has delivered. And they could get post 250 plus. Let's not forget the efforts of Neil Wagner at the moment. He's still in at the crease, 43 from 123. He's been just as influential as Ross Taylor. Faced a lot of deliveries. Kept himself in for a lot of this time. Taylor goes over third man. That'll be 4 again. Now the boundaries continue to flow as we head towards the end of the day. Look at that shot. And again away by Wagner. This will be runs again. Probably deserving of a half century, Neil Wagner. Just settles for 2 here. Oh, they want the third. Bowler's end going to be disaster. And somehow they don't mess it up. You would not read about it. Wagner just chilling there. Look at him. Oh, an edge by Taylor. And that'll be 4. So 250 up for New Zealand. Jeez, bit of luck again. Wagner pulls across. And straight to the man. So disappointing end for his innings. Just maybe threw the short ball a little bit early. As we see on the replay here. How Wagner's exit from the wicket goes. Just playing it a little too casually maybe. Gave it a bit of air. Warwick underneath it. He was able to take the catch. 250 for 8 New Zealand. But Wagner's innings, nothing short of something special. We've got, a couple of balls left in the day's play. Southey is in with Ross Taylor. And at one stage, New Zealand didn't look like they were going to survive the day's play. Survive the second session even. But they've done it. They've survived the opening day's play. 258 for 8. The standout performer today, Ross Taylor, 126 from 221 balls. Was in at the crease very early. And New Zealand were 120 for 7 at one point before pressing on to make 258 for 8 as we head to Stumps on day 1. Wagner's 46 also as influential as ever. Roston Chase 2 for 44 with the ball. Yamal Warwick 2 for 70 with the ball. Cornwall 1 for 30. Holder 1 for 38 as well. Thank you guys for watching. I'll see you all tomorrow for day 2.